And benvenuti, tifosi napolitani, to another edition of the Napoli Rant. I'm your host, Raffa. Today, it's just me flying solo. Ralph Pizarro had some business to take care of today, so it is just me, and I want to thank everybody that's been waiting here patiently for me to come on. When I run the show, things don't go smoothly. It's just the way it is, guys. So I just want to shout out Giuseppe Pasquale and a couple of others, Maximus, Daniel, uh, for waiting on the chat, and thank you very much for joining us today. Napoli defeat Spezia by a score of 3-0 on the road. We're going to cover that today. I just wanted to definitely cover that. And then I think the forum is open. We're gonna just kind of like shoot the crap today. You know what I mean, guys? Yeah. So before we get any further, Ralph Biz does have a message for all.
Show your support by subscribing to our YouTube channel and be sure to give this episode a like.
Yes, that's right. Again, Napoli defeat Spezia 3-0. Guys, what a match this was. 6:30 in the morning in the North American region. Just one of those. The first half looked like it was one of those "why do we wake up" moments. We really pushed hard, and Spezia really kind of held us really tight defensively. They had a couple chances themselves. We came close a few times to breaking the deadlock, but it wasn't to be in the first half. And then what happens? Second half, I think like 12 seconds. That might even be an exact time. 12 seconds into the first half, we get a handball call, and Kvaratskhelia steps up to the plate, steps up to the dischetto, right? 12 meters out, takes the penalty and buries it for a 1-0. I believe that's his seventh or eighth goal. Instead, I believe it's 8 this season. And then what happens? A couple minutes later, maybe 20 minutes later, Napoli get the second finally with not the bird, not the plane, but Victor Osimhen. Big mistake by the defense. I mean, trying to clear it out, you send the ball way up high, right in front of the goal, and then that's where your keeper needs to come out and grab it, and he just didn't, and Victor pounced right on it. Great header too. If you watch the replays, he goes up and he just connects with the ball and just kind of looks the other way. He just kind of moves his head towards the goal. Ball goes in the back of the net, open net, 2-0. And then literally 2 minutes later, real unselfish play by Kvaratskhelia, where he's got a ball that was misplayed by the defense, and it's just basically him and the keeper, but with Osimhen sort of lying in the wait, and Kvara unselfishly gets himself another assist. 3-0, game over, game set match. Napoli win. That, like I said, was the early game. The Milan derby was later on, where Inter beat Milan 1-0. So the lead remains at 13 points in Serie A, but it's just another step closer, guys, right? I mean, it really is. I've been getting a lot of crap from a lot of people about openly sort of admitting that this thing is over. And I don't know how else to really express myself anymore. This thing it's over. It would take the most epic fall from grace for us not to get our hands on a Scudetto this season. So many things have to happen for that to be the case, and I just don't see it happening at all. Some people might say things like Arsenal in the Premier League, they've got an 8-point lead, and a lot of pundits are not safe with that 8 points. And maybe because, Arsenal have a, history of slipping at the end. So do we. But the thing is, I think there's a difference. There's a difference in that this is not the same Napoli, and I don't know, guys. I just don't feel like it's going to happen. I think we're pretty safe. Um, which on one hand is great because we're running away with the league. It's a testament to our play. Um, on the other hand, is a little sad because you kind of want more of a fight from the rest of the league, but we've been waiting so long. I don't think it matters, right? It doesn't really matter. But I'm going to get to the chat, guys. I just wanted to, um, kind of talk about that. We could talk more about the game. You guys can throw your 2 cents about the match and how everybody played. Obviously Osimhen 2 goals, just was on fire again, just as normal. He's the most sought out player in the league. That's what 16 goals now in Serie A, which is his best. And it's not that far fetched for him to get. I joke a lot when every beginning of every season I say things like Osimhen's going to score 40. I mean, 40 might be a stretch, but it's definitely not impossible. The record's 36, maybe right around the record. I mean, when you think about it, Patrick Hendrick called the game in North America, and he said it doesn't seem that far fetched for him to score another 10 goals in the remaining 17 games, and then he scored one again, right? So it doesn't seem that far fetched. Kvaratskhelia is playing out of his mind. Everybody's just going crazy here. Guys, I'm doing a few things, 2 things at once, so please bear with me. But I'm going to call everybody out. Michele Scotto Di Lucio, Aglio, what's going on? Gaetano's in saying Rispo da solo. Yeah, today it's by myself. Biz is just away taking care of some stuff that he had to take care of. Nothing to worry about. He'll be back. 10 more wins and the Scudetto will be secured. That's Michele. Well, when you factor that in, right? 56 points with 17 games left. 10 more wins is 86 points. Do you see any other team getting to 86? Possibly not. You look at the next team behind us is Inter, 13 points less. So what's that? They're at 40. What's that? 43 that they're at, right? 10 wins for them is 73 points, right? I mean, yeah, things are going to happen the rest of the season, and that number is going to fluctuate a little bit. Maximus says, what's he at now? 8 goals, 10 assists. I think in all competitions, probably. It could be wrong. I don't want to be on the phone too much while I watch. Well, while we do this. But I can pull up his numbers. Let's see here. Kvaratskhelia transfer market. Let's see here. Got to pull up the lineups. There you go. It's not as hard as I thought. I already had the screen up. So let's see. Kvaratskhelia right now in Serie A has 8 goals. 8 goals and let's see. 8 and 11. 8 goals, 11 assists. Wow. Kvaratskhelia is on fire, guys. He really is. So Felix is in. What's up, Felix? Hey, good morning, gals. Meeting you guys on live, watching from Nigeria. Felix Peters, thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Michaela is saying, "Add a fucking boy," meaning maybe he's happy that I'm admitting that those ours. Felix back in again, saying, "Glad meeting you on live, watching from Nigeria. Thank you so much." Let's see here. Felix again. Let's see Felix again. The only thing separating Napoli from the Scudetto is just time. We will be giving the trophy earlier than expected. You can bet your bottom that Napoli will be partying that last game of the season. It's usually the fan appreciation day, right? That's the day, I believe, if history repeats itself, that's the day the Scudetto will be passed around and medals will be given and raised and all that stuff. Michaela says, F this league, it's our time. I think that's referring to my saying that the league should have been a little more competitive for us. It's entirely possible. Yeah. So, guys, let's see here. What, that's a good point, too. Michaela says, to be fair, drawn penalty should 100% be an assist. I think they do actually count that. So that's a good point. So it is 11. It is 11 assists. Transfer market is sketch with assists, though. Yeah. Transfer market is sketch with assists. I could look up the foot mob numbers, which is what we normally use, right? Foot mob is our go-to, and we will be talking about our beast in the match pretty soon, guys. The reason why I'm so late is because I've been trying to get this photo on our beast of the match photo. For some reason it's not on, and I won't be able to share the photo on the screen, so you're gonna see me just kind of like share it with my phone. It's very ghetto. Listen, this is what happens when our producer can't make the show. It's just the way it is. But yeah, Kvaratskhelia, let's see. Looking at his player profile, he's down for 8 goals, 9 assists. So I'm wondering if Transfer Market is actually using his penalties drawn as assists as well. Peter Scala says, hi, handsome. How you doing, Bello? Come stai? Vincenzo is in here saying what's up. I think given the that for the he's superstitious, so he's given the old horns, right? Maximus, I won't say you shouldn't celebrate now, but I will hold on to my impending doom feeling. Thanks, buddy. Sal de Brita, ciao, Raffa. This team is weird. I kind of believe, and the annual pit of despair doesn't seem as close as it usually does, right? I mean, for sure, this team is good enough to win the Scudetto, right? But would we be so positive if Inter were like maybe even 7 points behind, right? Like, and everybody knows that's my number, right? 7 and higher for me, I'm happy with, right? As far as a points lead goes. But would we be that comfortable and cozy if the race wasn't as tight, right? Like, or if the race wasn't as far gone. If it was a little tighter, I think we'd all be sort of like, okay, we've got to eat as good as we are, right? As good as we are. If some of those matches Inter drew or lost were wins, right? Actually, they only have 1 draw, so like six losses. If some of those were wins, we'd probably be a lot less like at ease with this big lead that we have, right? But yeah, Gianluca's in, says not celebrating, but definitely floating at the league in our form. Yeah, I mean, well, all due respect, to the league, but we're miles ahead of it at this point. We're miles ahead of it. I've seen videos on ESPN, the ESPN FC crew are like kind of saying the same thing. Wrap it up, it's over. And it's will they win the Champions League? That's what they're talking about. For those of you who don't, and I think that's most of you, you should, Matteo Bonetti and Kay Murray have the CalcioCast podcast that's on Patreon. It's exclusive to Patreon, so you have to subscribe. It's a couple bucks a month. I pay the $7. It's a contributor tier. It's for me, it's no big deal. I don't mind paying $7 a month for content that I like. You get to, write in, they talk to you, they talk about you, bring your question out and all that stuff. What the last week, I guess they recorded today, and I believe they dropped one today, but last week's episode was covering the Roma game and our meet, in in New York and everything. And one of the things that Kay Murray said, because she works with ESPN, is that Craig Burley is super in love with this Napoli team, which is very reassuring because these guys usually kill Italian football, and Kay brought that out, like as much as they're made to have to talk about Premier League and have to talk about the leagues that they cover and all that stuff, even when they covered Serie A, they just wouldn't give them enough love. And what's going on at ESPN right now is that everybody's falling over at this Napoli team, and it's now, can they have what it takes to win the Champions League? Never mind the Scudetto, that's done, they say. But will they win the Champions League? And Craig Burley seems to think they will. A couple of the other guys do. But yeah, the respect is definitely being given around that part of TV land there. And it's wonderful. It's wonderful to see. Check their YouTubes out. I guess I made the best of ESPN FC of 2022. There was I guess there are 2 videos. They did one, and then they did another one, a second video. And my question into ESPN when I asked if this Napoli now beats PSG in current form, and Kay brought up that I was a barber, so they kind of took the piss out of Ali Moreno, who has no hair. But that whole segment kind of made the best of ESPN FC for 2022. Check that out. Look at me plugging ESPN because they're giving us love, guys. They're giving us love. Vincenzo says the reason everyone is far behind us is that we set a pace they can't keep up with, right? The small, quote unquote, small teams are all competitive now. We are just a whole level above the rest. I agree with that. The league is a competitive league. If you watch every game, and I'm hoping everyone here does watch every single game, the league is highly competitive. Highly. Look at Monza in 10th place. I watched Monza Sampdoria today. What a game that was. Gabbiadini scored both goals for Sampdoria. The first time Sampdoria scored 2 goals in the same game this season. And Petagna actually scored the equalizer for the 1-1. And then the 2-2 was a very last minute penalty by Pessina. And, like last kick of the match kind of stuff. And it was really a great game to watch. And it's funny because I walked into work today thinking, okay, there's 2 games today, then there's a game tomorrow, which is Salernitana Juventus. And I'm like, for some reason I thought Lazio was later. It was Verona Lazio. So I put the TV on thinking we're gonna watch a Monza Sampdoria, and I'm like, oh, boring game, whatever. It turned out it was Verona Lazio, who Verona got a result coming from behind as well today. 1-1. And what a game that was. Such a great game. So many good shots taken by Lazio and good saves by their keeper, Provedel. But it was a great game to watch. Second half, Verona played really well. And then I'm like, this game at 3, the crew at the barbershop calls it boner games, right? We were like, oh, what a boner game this is. But no, none of the games are boner games anymore, guys. These are legit games, and these teams are good. They're good teams. I like the league. I love it. No matter where you are on the table, you're watching some really competitive football, and it's good to see. So while it looks like our lead is a representation of the league being behind everyone else, it's really not. It's not. It's just Napoli are really on a different level. They are. They just are. It's unbelievable. It really is. Let's see. I lost my spot in the chat because I had to go out. Okay, I found it now. So let's see, guys. Yeah, I guess there was where is it? Daniel, there it is right there. We had 48 points as the 2017 Winter Champions. We had 50 this season, 91 points that year. Stranger things have happened, but I'll admit I'm starting to believe. That's right, Dan. We're on pace to smash that 100-point, right? 100-point season. We may get that 102 that Juve have. That's a record, right? Which is awesome. Awesome. Gianluca, with consistency, we can take on anyone. Look what we did to Liverpool without Victor. Yes, let's stop to think about that for a minute. Without Victor Osimhen, we were on fire with Raspadori and Simeone. The rest of the crew came up with big time plays, goals, things like that. But then also without Kvaratskhelia, we were really, really good. We were good. You had Elmas coming up to produce. It was just great to see, and it makes you think that does De Laurentiis really want to get rid of this duo after year one. I know it usually is very ADL like to get rid of a player after year 3, especially like a striker that's worth money, right? He did it with Cavani, he did it with Higuain. And Milik was Milik, but here's Osimhen, and trend shows that he'll sell Victor Osimhen off. I'm seeing YouTube videos from people in just out watching, like they would YouTube themselves watching videos of Victor Osimhen. And this one kid, and I don't remember who it was, but I guess he's a United fan, but he's just like, "Oh, welcome to United, Victor Osimhen. Yes, this is great." Like, I guess they're reacting to him first time, right, ever. And they're just so in awe of his play, and they're convinced that they're going to sign him. And I just feel like if ADL prepares a new deal for Osimhen, one that makes sense for him, his agent is saying things like he wants him to stay another couple years, grow a little bit more. He's only 24 years old. You know what I mean? This guy's got the world ahead of him. And, winning a Scudetto with Napoli and going as far as you can in the Champions League. And guys, he hasn't even touched the Champions League yet. Like, think about that. In the game against Liverpool, like we mentioned, right? He was out after the first half. He had a really good first half. He missed the penalty, yes, but he had a great first half. Then he got injured and missed most of the rest of the Champions League. He only scored against Ajax. It was the fourth goal against Ajax at the Maradona. He came on, this was as he was returning from injury. He came on as a substitute. He played in the game against Liverpool, but at Anfield. But let's be honest, that game was it was a warm up, man. It was. We already had the group in the bag, so that's one of the only recent games he hasn't scored in. Inter being another, and I think the Coppa Italia Cremonese game. The games that we lose in, he doesn't score, which is amazing, absolutely amazing. It's basically, when he scores, you can bank on a win. And he hasn't even been unlocked in the Champions League yet. Wait till the 17th, right? Or is it the 21st? The 21st of February. It's the 15th of March where we play at the Maradona. Wait till the 21st, Tuesday the 21st. It's going to be nuts. He's going to unlock himself in this Champions League. That's the thing. We destroyed that group stage without Victor Osimhen, essentially without Victor Osimhen. The Champions League hasn't even seen this guy yet. Wait till he's unlocked. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I don't know. I guess there's some hate going on in the chat, which I didn't want to bring up because I'm not really sure where it's coming from, but I'm, guys, we're all here for the same thing, right? We're all here for Napoli. Let's not hate each other. Dan Ruggiero says, Raffa, my mama asked me if I saw quote, all the Napoli fans in New York, unquote, on TV. And I was like, yeah, I'm familiar. A lot of the guys that set it up, y'all made a splash. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate that. Yeah. Credit to everybody. Again, we talked about it last week, but credit to everybody who put that together. All the board members of the Tri-State Napoli Club, getting the other club members from the other clubs to come, being hospitable to them when they were here. Credit to myself, and I'll pat myself on the back and Gaetano for getting CBS and Serie A. Credit to everybody, Rosario for making it such a great event. I really do appreciate your words, Daniel. When I watch and look, and Calcio Napoli 24, that was all Gaetano as well, and Peter. I just wanted to say, when I look back at photos and videos still of that day, I get emotional and I get really, really, it's just a feeling comes over me that like, wow, we did this, we did this, and it's a collection, it's a collective of people. And when I say I'm proud, like, it's an understatement, but great things are coming. It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait to see what comes next. We actually met on Zoom yesterday, or Google Meets, whatever it was. We, the board members, most of us met to discuss the near future and beyond. And it's looking good. I don't want to give too much away before we, confirm things, but look for meets coming up later this month, middle of next month, beginning of April, and beyond. We're gonna really make a big splash again. So check it out. Here are our Twitter handles underneath, at Try Napoli Club and at Napoli Rant on all social media platforms. Check us out and follow us. Also, please do me a favor, because they asked us to, and they've been so great. Everybody at Serie A has been so great with us, and it's just they've been really open and communicating, and wonderful things that are happening with Serie A and with CBS Sports. I'm gonna put this up here really quickly, just so that everybody can show them love too. At Serie A _EN on Twitter. That's the Serie A Twitter account, the English one. They have the office in the United States. Please give them a follow. And then on Instagram, they are that Serie A. That's their name on Instagram. Please check them out. I'll put that up too, so you guys can check that out. That Serie A on Instagram. This is on Instagram. I should probably have clarified. Fix that right there. Right. Yeah. And then CBS Sports Golazzo. They just they're just amazing. Another great group of people. David, the cameraman, and Andrea, the field reporter for the social media. Just a great bunch of people. They were out in Boston this weekend with for the Milan Derby. It was a nice little turnout. I don't think it was anywhere near what we did on in New York, but they had a great time. You could see actually a buddy of mine, David Fonte, he runs Milan Club Philly. He was there with his wife. I saw him. The dude Carlo from Carlo and Sarah, the guy that moved here from Rome, who is big on Instagram or in TikTok and all that stuff, right? They were there for that too. The owners of Ducali Restaurant. Actually, I believe my family and I, right before our next meet, or for the club, are going to Boston North. No, we're going to visit North End one of the days there, and I think I'm going to try to get myself over there to kind of say hi and introduce myself and see what's going on. But that's these guys right here, CBS Sports Golazzo 1Z. Please give them some love, because They have really helped us out a lot. They're down with the club. They're down with everything we're doing, and we're going to work a lot with them, more in the very near future. So that's really cool. I'm going to get back to the chat really quick, guys. Again, I have to catch up. um, Vincenzo says, I don't know about you guys, but I couldn't care less about the transfer market right now. We're living the dream. Exactly. A lot of people are saying Aussie stays. Um, let's see here. Michele, name a better free transfer in Napoli history than Insigne leaving for Toronto. That was a good one. I like that one. That was a good one. And that's, okay, I guess. Let's see. Gaetano said, I'll get to that in a second, Michele. Deepest Napoli team of all time, Gaetano says. Presidente of Tried Napoli Club. And one of the deepest in Europe, which is very, very, very true. Very true. Let me get to that one real quick. Michele, name a better free transfer in history than Insigne leaving for Toronto. Last week we talked about the biggest, I guess the most important transfer, right? Or Napoli's most important player of the season, let's just say, right? And I said it was Kim Min-jae, right? I think for me, the reason why it's Kim Min-jae is because he replaced such a big role, right? And I'm talking to my cousin Dan, who, by the way, helped me pick piece of the match this week, which I'll get to in a minute. But I was talking to my cousin Dan. We watched you guys saw, if you didn't see, follow him too at D Meluzis, Meluzis on Instagram. I'll put my cousin Dan's Twitter up. Why not? Right? Screw it. He's a pretty cool dude. Actually, he's very quiet. He's very quiet on Twitter and on Insta, but that's his Twitter. Let's see, D Meluzis, right? That's my cousin Dan, but he was the dude that was with me watching the game at 6:30 a.m. at the shop, which was crazy. That's another crazy story. No internet, no at the house. We were in and out of power through the day before, and I wasn't missing this for the world. Plus, also, I think that's the way to go for the 6:30 games because I don't want to wake the whole house up, and it's one thing if you're watching 6:30 when there's really nothing to play for or not that much of a chance. But when we're doing what we're doing, I can't stay still. I can't stay quiet. Like I can always put my AirPods on in my ear and connect the AirPods through the TV, which is a thing, and she doesn't have to hear anything. But then that means I can't make a peep. It's 6:30 in the morning. I gotta let the house sleep. But thank God for owning a business, right? Owning the shop, going into the shop, watching. My cousin lives directly upstairs from our shop, which is his apartment's above it. So that was the perfect scenario. We came downstairs, watched the game. It was great. But follow my cousin on Twitter, D Meluzis, and I think he's simply Napoli 8687 on Instagram. That's his Instagram, Napoli 8687. Yeah, that's it on Instagram. Check him out. Daniele Meludis. Who is that? Gianluca. We were talking about how people with the last name that doesn't end in a vowel, they have to always add the vowel. The Italians, right? The Korean Korea Super Coreano Kim. Well, my cousin's last name is Meludis with an S at the end, so we have to make it Meludis. But anyway, him and I were talking, right? And the most important signing for me is Kim Min-jae. The most important player is Kim Min-jae because of the role that he, overtook. He overtook, Koulibaly, who was supposed to be our captain. He was still top 3 defender in the world when he left, right? And we were very shook on his departure. I mean, we knew Insigne was leaving. So Kvaratskhelia being like that's the other answer, right? Kvara for sure. We were looking at Elmas playing in that role, which he's doing really well now, but nobody really was confident in Elmas taking over the role, right? Maybe except for Biz because that's his boy, but Yeah, I mean, Kvaratskhelia is up there with it, and he's putting the numbers up for sure. He's putting numbers that Insigne couldn't put up for how long, right? I mean, I don't think Insigne's put up these kind of numbers, goals and assists, right? Um, in a single season, anyway. I know he had one really high goal tally. I think it was 19 or 20. Yeah, that's dope. But I mean, towards the end, it was declining, and he came in and took that role too. So I would have to say, if gun to my head, if it were one or the other, it would probably have to be Kvaratskhelia. So I'm changing my answer, maybe, right? But I don't see where the answer is wrong if you pick either, right? I don't know. Um, so Fran is in, and Fran says that Ossie stays 2 more. I love that. Give him another contract. Sign him to like a 4-year extension at 7 mil a season. Stay 2 more seasons. Win the Scudetto. Win maybe another Scudetto. Possibly win a treble. Double here and there, treble, right? And then sell him off. And when he's 26, he's 26-year-old striker who's like on top of the world. Why not? 26, 27. Why not? Gianluca says, I don't think they'll want to leave. There'll be gods here. And yes, and they only leave if they want to, right? Money was different in the Cavani days to now. They'll want to defend it, I think, as guys etched in Napoli history. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And look, Cavani, we were not prepared to give Cavani the money he was asking. And PSG was, right? And PSG had already taken Lavezzi, so he had some sort of a relationship with them. Yeah, we were not prepared to pay them that, and I think now we might be very prepared. Look at what he's done, guys. Look at what he's done. He has lowered the wage bill by so much. Now it's possible to pay our players that deserve to be paid. It's entirely possible. With the Scudetto incoming, is going as far as we can in the Champions League. It's possible. Oh, man, guys, this is uncharted territories that we're entering here, right? Sal de Brita, Ossie and Kvara stays. Let those Prem heads dream. ADL, I'm telling you, Sal, all I hear, welcome to Manchester United. It's in the bag. He's done. He's buying him. They spent 100 for what's his face, right? Who did they recently just Anthony or something like that, right? They spent 100 for Anthony. Why wouldn't they spend it for Victor? Let those Prem heads dream. ADL won't transfer them with the squad we have unless they pay 250 million each. Guys, imagine making €500 million on 2 players that we just got. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Gianluca, their names will be next to Maradona. They want to defend, and we can afford raises. This is a good topic for when Biz comes back. We've got a few, but when he comes back, we got it. There's a few topics I want to cover. I need help. I can't do it all and do these topics. That's why when I'm alone, I like to feed off you guys. Give me all the content. Their names will be next to Maradona. They'll want to defend, and we can afford raises with money from winning both the league and sponsors, and money from advancing in UCL and or winning it. Yeah, man. Yeah. Crystal Cortese. Thanks for joining us, Crystal. She says, remember when the pink paper when the pink paper was saying he was made of glass? I do. And I was talking about that with someone else. Like, it was Gianluca at the meet, right? Remember when they were saying he needs to beef up a lot more, he needs to this and that, right? He's out muscling players like it's nothing. These people, I'm telling you, search Victor Osimhen on YouTube. Yeah, I'm sure you'll find it. It's some people watching for the first time, right? And they're like, absolutely. There's one guy goes nuts and rewinds it, has to watch it again after he beats Smalling the way he did. Unbelievable. Here's an interesting take. Fran is bringing this back again. He's got something against Zielinski, apparently. I think Zielinski may go. He's the only big name that I could see maybe leaving. Politano and Lozano may both go. I think Politano and Lozano may both go. and we strengthen there. Like that's an area of need for next season. Also, I'm hearing a lot of Meret is going to leave, and we may be in for Vicario from Empoli, where, oh my gosh, guys, Roma versus Empoli this weekend. Did you see? Please, if nobody here has seen it, or if you haven't seen it, maybe if you have, then kudos to you. But if you haven't seen it, please go watch the highlights of Roma Empoli. Roma gets two early quick goals, and in the second half, Roma should have made it 3-0. And Vicario made these saves oh my gosh. There were 3 saves in a row. Just amazing saves. This is definitely goalkeeper of the future. He's sought out after Bayern Munich. Napoli want him. I think Roma want him. There's another Serie A team that might want him. He's awesome. Check him out. But Fran says that he thinks Zielinski might go. We'll see, Fran. We'll see. We're seeing Lukman. He's definitely hitting it this season. For sure. Lukman is dope. It's him and Victor at the top there, right? Pasquale says to hit that like button, guys. So I'm only showing 1 like. It might not be an accurate representation. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go in and like the post, like the YouTube show myself. Why not, right? Let's see. I'm in. Here I am. And watch how easy it is, guys, right? What Biz said. Like it. I got 12 likes here. Actually, I'm looking at YouTube. It says 13 likes. So thank you, everybody who's on watching and liking. We love hearing from Raffa, so we're here from him one more time.
Show your support by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and be sure to give this episode a like.
Oh, did you miss that?
Show your support by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and be sure to give this episode a like.
One more time.
Show your support by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and be sure to give this episode a like.
Listen to Biz. He said it 3 times. He said it 4 times already this episode. Give our show a like. Yes, give it a subscribe and a like. Comment, please comment. I'm gonna start signing into our Rant YouTube and responding from there. Biz too. We love to see comments. We love to do all this stuff. I did see someone say he makes me doodle. I hope you're talking about Biz, because yeah. Daniel Peters says make some contact with the. Yeah, that's right. Make some contact with the thumbs up for the Biz. Yeah. All right, you guys. Beast of the match for Spezia, right? We talked about a lot of things today. Thank you so much for the chat, helping me out, giving me some fuel, giving me some content. Once again, I can't share the photo on the thing, so this is going to look real ghetto. I literally texted Biz. I said I can't share my screen with the program that we usually use. It was completely throwing me off the browser, so there would be no Rant if I really, that was what was happening before. That's why I came in a little late. So I'm just going to sort of share my photo on the phone, and we'll talk about why I think this person is beast of the match for this week. I do know that Osimhen got man of the match by FootMob, a 9.0 rating, 2 goals. Kvaratskhelia an 8.8 with a goal and an assist. And the rest of the team did really well. There was not much to do for a couple of the other guys. But, yeah, you guys, here is, you know what I'm going to do before? What I'll do is I'll make a tiny little banner here. Yeah, but who do you think your beast of the match is? Let's put that in the comments while I do this. Beast of the match for Spezia for me, and we'll get into it in just a few minutes. But tell me who yours is, and when you do, I'll take a look at that. Let's see here. Who do you got? Yeah, I don't see anybody who. Come on, guys, give me your beast. Who's your beast? Really quick. Throw it in the chat. Let me see it. But on that note, let's go. It's guys, this is so ghetto. Stanislav Lobotka. Yes. Match day 21, beast of the match. It's Lobotka for me. Um, I, and I'll tell you why. Okay, so like I said, my cousin Dan, him and I were sort of like going back and forth on who the beast of the match should be for this game. And to be honest with you, Kvaratskhelia or Osimhen weren't it. It was this guy and it was Mario Rui. So for me, those two players were 1 and 2 close for beast of the match. Here's why I picked Lobotka. 90 minutes. He had the most passes uh, uh, made in the 90 minutes, but also this guy was on every ball. Lobotka, and I mean, I paid close attention to Lobotka, right? Especially when I watched the replay because we watch the replays to analyze. We watch during when we watch live, it's emotion, right? It's in the moment. You're not really. I don't like to be over analytic when I'm watching. I just want to have fun watching the game, and then I'll go back in and watch. And I did, and I watched Lobotka. And this guy, when they say box to box midfielder, this guy was the epitome of box to box. He was on every single, like defensively, he was at the edge of the box for every defensive play, and offensively, he was at every single play offensively in at the box at the goal line. Right. I I I I looked back again, and if you guys watch the third goal, right, the second Osimhen goal, the reason that goal exists is because of Lobotka's pressure on the defender, which causes him to bobble it. And he didn't even have to touch the ball. He just had a presence about him to throw the defender off and have a waiting Kvaratskhelia take the ball from him and just kind of open himself up, right? Watch it again. I'm telling you, Lobotka for me is one of the beasts of the whole season. It's really going to come down to and I would have thought that because Anguissa had such a great first quarter. We gave it to, obviously, as you guys saw last weekend, we gave the beast of the second quarter to Victor Osimhen. But Lobotka and Mario Rui right now are early candidates for beast quarter three. Early can I'm telling you that right now. I don't mind spoiling that for you guys. Just an absolute, and my dad said it too. My dad, big Tony Rispo, right? Um, I should put his handle up, but I'm not going to. I'll post it. I'll post his handle. Give him a follow. But he said he's like the conductor, right? He stands there and he's like the conductor, and I took into account him saying that, right? And for the action that started that third goal, I think it was either that or the play right before. It was in between. It was definitely in between the second and third goal. You could just see him pointing to where the ball needs to go, right? So, like, let's say Elmas Zielinski has the ball, ahead of him, and they're looking to pass, and Lobotka would be like pass down there to Politano. He just moves his hand out, right? It's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. The regista, he took over that regista role and he's just lights out in that role. He really is. Quentin comes in a little late, but thanks, Quentin. I appreciate you coming in. Lobotka, most improved player, went from playing FIFA in the Konami Center to beast of the match. He shouldn't be playing FIFA in the Konami Center. He should be playing eFootball because that's how we roll, right? eFootball. Formerly PES. But yes, you're right, Quentin. True. The way Gianluca, the way Lobo turns and shoots the gap, attracts defenders and opens it up by passing wide is literally watching art. 100%. 100%. Chicho Ciao Bello. What's up, Ciao Bello? Zeno says, I stand for Beast. Yes. And Gaetano, best regista in Serie A. Best regista in Europe. I don't even know if the rest of Europe knows what a regista is, bro. We saw Jorginho get transferred to Arsenal, and Chelsea fans going, good. You can have, like, these people want Jorginho to be what he's not, and they don't know. They want him to be like a trequartista, and they don't know what the role entails. They just don't. It's crazy. Um, John Lucas says it's the best reveal yet. The best beast reveal yet. And Gaetano says he couldn't see shit. Senator said, I thought it was Gigi D'Alessio. Yes, Gigi D'Alessio is beast of the match for Napoli, guys. Oh man, guys, thank you guys so much. Sede, I saw you posting for Aussie. Pasquale Giuntolini, thank you so much, guys, for for contributing. Thanks for contributing. They don't know ball. You're right, Sede. They don't. They really don't. It's unbelievable how bad they don't. Yet they want to pundit. All right, guys, listen. We're at the end of the mark. I don't have closing music. I didn't have opening music. This is just how it is when there's no biz, right? We need the biz back. But yeah, thank you again. I really appreciate you all for hanging with me for a few minutes tonight. We'll be back next week with normal stuff. Try Napoli Club at Napoli Rant. Please follow us. Please like us all. Subscribe to all of our stuff. Be sure to be on the lookout again for us announcements coming from Gaetano, from Peter Scala, from Chop, from me, Biz, and everybody at Tri-State, because we are going to be doing some really great things coming up soon. Don't miss out on anything. I just wanted to say thank you again all for being patient with me today as well. Pasquale says, when you guys give out the beast to the quarter picture, I hope it's a screenshot of you holding the phone. Those who know will appreciate it. Remember. Yeah. Oh, also, thank you, Pasquale. We'll take that into consideration. Pictures of me holding the beast, right? We did finish the Q2, right? So we did that giveaway for the Q1 pictures, like the picture art, which was pretty cool, the tile art. We may be doing a second quarter one. That's something I still have to discuss with Biz. Surprise Biz when you watch this over again. We've got to do that. But also, check out our YouTube, because Ralph has figured out how to do shorts now. So now, and I'm going to attempt myself during the week to do some short videos for YouTube. It comes equipped with the the link to the show that it's attached to. But yeah, we got some really cool. We got a good amount of people that watched the one where I ripped Juventini to shreds, and I got to do that more often, don't I? Right? Quentin says, I've had Vesuvia Ruta playing in my head since the 29th. Forza, dude, so have I. Swear on my life, I have too. I promise you. Ask everybody around me. I've been singing it to myself. I promise you. It's awesome. Vesuvia Ruta, tutta Napoli distrutta. Oh, I love it. Oh, also shout out really quick before we do go, right? Who do I bribe to win that contest? John Lucas says. Really quick before I go, let's get a Forza Napoli in the chat. Shout out to Victor Osimhen, right? And Oma Akatuba, if you're watching, I really want you to pass this message along, okay? In the midst of a very hostile or potential hostile crowd that could have been when he went into the stands to, apologize and greet the lady that he hit in training with the ball by accident. That took some real courage, because it was not a good situation for the last game of the season last year, where we had to be stopped for 12 minutes because of crowd trouble. It was not a good situation. And then you can hear later on, Spezia fans did Spezia fan things and really said some nasty things about Napoli again, like as always, right? And I really want to say thank you to Victor Osimhen for doing what he did, going up to this lady who, after the match, and because I know this because I was listening on the way back to the house on the radio, after the match, this lady who got hit in the face with Victor's ball called Kiss Kiss Napoli and spoke to Alvino and Del Genio and all those guys. And she actually, her brother-in-law's a big Napoli fan, so she was really happy that Victor came to him and talked to him. And I think they arranged to have him have jerseys and stuff like that, for later on. And she said something which was great, because they asked her how she's doing. Her name Her name was Elena Matino. That was her name, Elena Matino. So Matino, like morning, but with the the accent over the O, Matino, right? Eric and Elena Matino, and she said, "I'm feeling fine. I feel worse that Osimhen scored 2 goals on us." It was a really cool interview. I wish it was around somewhere, but that was such a great scene where Osimhen went in and the Spezia fans actually applauded him. This was all before the game, before they shit on us in the stands. But yeah, it was before the game. And I'm really happy the way the crowd handled that, and the way Victor handled the crowd, and the way he's just a classy person, you know. At 24 years old, living the life that he lived, it's very easy to get lost, in the money, in the fame, in all that stuff. And that's another reason why I think I have a good feeling about Victor staying another couple years, is because he feels the energy and the affection of Napoli, but he also respects us. And I have nothing but the best things to say about Victor Osimhen to anyone, and the respect. He's got such great respect and a great heart. My dad's in here. Sempre solo forza Napoli. Buonanotte, son. Love you too. I love you too, Dad. Thank you so much. I want you to. You know what I should have done? I should have had you come in here, but I don't know if I can handle you by myself and do all this that Biz normally does. So hopefully we can have you on too. But yes, Sedano says it's pure class. Johnny says, "Where's the Johnny? Where's the best place in NYC to watch a Napoli game? I might be in New York City in the next couple of weeks, and I want to be able to see Napoli game out there." So, Johnny, go to Ribalta. That's where we go for our meets, and when we're in the city. But they do meet every single game, even when we're not there, because they have Napoli Club NYC, right? So the big events that you've seen us do there, the couple times that we've been there, is a collab event between the two clubs, Tri-State and Napoli Club New York City. Go there, watch the game, eat some bomb pizza. They were again rated like top 20 places to go outside of Italy for pizza. It's awesome. Ribalta Pizzeria. Follow our socials for more information if you want, but you'll find everything there. But hey, you guys, thank you again so much. Yeah, Pasquale, you're right. I thought I was ending the show on time because it's just me. It's not. But you guys are making me stay. It's you. You're making the 20-minute goodbye a possibility today, and I love it. And I wouldn't have it. I wouldn't have it any other way. Quentin Ribalta was also the in-flight pizza for American Airlines. Oh, you guys are great. I love you guys very much. Okay, guys, sempre solo Forza Napoli, sempre Forza Napoli, sempre. Cremonese at the Maradona, 2:45 this Sunday. Thank God, I can actually sit and watch a game at a decent time instead of cutting hair while I do it. But anyway, guys, again, keep your ears out, eyes and ears out for new news on the club and everything like that. And don't forget to visit our socials, and everything like that. Okay, Forza Napoli. Ciao, ciao, ciao.